Hello and welcome back to Pride of the Midlands TV. Earlier today, Walsall announced the permanent signing of Andrew Dallas on a 2-year deal from Barnsley. The 26-year-old Scottish striker spent last season on loan at Southend United, where he's prolific in front of goal, scoring 17 goals and getting 3 assists for the Shrimps in the National League, and he helped them to a playoff place and an FA Trophy win at Wembley. The 26-year-old has had 9 spells on loan, including at Morecambe in the second half of 24-25, scoring 3 in 17, Barrow, Oldham, Kilmarnock and Weymouth, as well as Grantham Morton and Stenhousemuir in the early parts of his career from Rangers. Other than at Southend, he hasn't really had a prolific spell on loan, probably because he's only spent half a season on loan at most of these clubs, including Morecambe, Barrow, Kilmarnock and Oldham, and at Kilmarnock and Oldham he scored no goals. So all of these loans, 9 in total, can't have been good for his career. I mean, he's never really had a chance to get settled except for at the permanent clubs such as Solihull Moors, where he did fantastic, as well as Southend, where he had a full season with them and he did fantastic as well, and also at Cambridge, where in the early parts of his career, to be fair to him, so he didn't really impress as much, but Solihull Moors and Southend especially, he impressed quite a lot. That is also a factor because it's at a lower level. So yeah, let's hope he can adapt to League 2 quite quickly. So Dallas described the way he plays as he's a striker that gets in behind, he links up play, and he likes to score goals just as every striker would want to. But his key attributes are his pace, which we expect him to utilise to break defensive lines and run in behind. He also uses this to aggressively press the opposition's defence, which I'm sure Matt Sadler would have loved as well. He's good at using his 5'10" frame to hold up the ball and link other creative players such as wingers and midfielders into the game. He also has a goal scoring instinct, with a prolific record with Southend and Solihull Moors, with 0.49 goals per 90 with Southend last season in the National League. What can we expect with Andy Dallas? I think he's a player we need to be patient with. He'll need a bit of time to settle in, as we saw on them loan spells with the 9 different clubs. He didn't really have much time to settle in and get used to the way the clubs were running, so I think we need to give him time to see his impact and see what he can do, because obviously he did fantastic at Southend and Solihull Moors. So there is a player in there. So let's just hope he can find the goal scoring form at Southend and step up to League 2 from the National League last season. And I do think he could be a fantastic player for us, and hopefully he's a permanent striker that hits the ground running. We haven't had that in years. All of our good strikers have been on loan, really. Danny Johnson, Freddie Draper, Nathan Lowe, Daniel Carner. Other than Danny Johnson, who returned, he wasn't as good as he was on that loan spell. So let's hope Andy Dallas can change that narrative and become a permanent striker who scores goals for us consistently. So tonight it is the fans forum with head of football Stuart Mayers and head coach Lee Grant, both recently appointed, so it's a good chance for us supporters to meet them and see what they have to say on the running of the football side of the club. So just a few questions for tonight maybe. So Lee Grant tended to play a 4-2-3-1 formation during his early games with Huddersfield, and he moved towards a variation of a 3-5-2 towards the end. So will Dallas feature as a sole striker or partnership with Presley in a 2 up front? We'll have to see about that as the season goes on. But Southend, they operated in a 3-5-2, with Dallas supported by options such as Josh Walker, Tom Hooper, and Slavy Spazov. Hope I've got that right. So maybe we could see Dallas adapting to a new formation under Lee Grant, or will Grant choose a 3-5-2 as he did towards the end at Huddersfield, where it all went wrong. So hopefully some of these questions will get answered later on at the fans forum. That it will be a productive night tonight, and I want the fans to stay behind obviously for the England game, which I won't be doing. I want to get home and watch it at the comfort of my own home without the expensive prices at the bar at Walsall FC. But let's hope it's a good night, and I'll see you all there.